Live from FedEx Forum, this is The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into The Odds Couple. It's the Monday edition of the big show in a smaller setting, more intimate. That's the way we like it on Mondays. I'm Lang Whitaker. I'm here with CJ Hurd. John Roser is going to join us in a minute. And joining us live from Brooklyn, New York, or I guess New York, Rob Fisher.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, from up here in New York, downtown New York City.
You're in New York right now.
Yeah, that's right. Game tonight in Brooklyn. So we'll be heading over to Brooklyn to play at Barclays Center. 8 o'clock start here locally, 7 o'clock back in Memphis. Tip-off right at the top of the hour, though. They're staggering starts, so no fooling you tonight. When we say tip-offs at 8 or at 7, we mean tip-offs at 7.
Do you mean
tip-off at 7?
Do you mean you fool us the rest of the time? Are we being fooled other nights?
No, we just round down.
All right.
Other nights we round down. We round to the 7 o'clock. You know, we'll say 6:30 Grizzlies live, 7 o'clock tip.
Yeah.
When in actuality it's like 6:30 and like 7:07, something like that, 7:08. I don't know.
So you're in Brooklyn. I saw the who played yesterday. The Giants had a home game in New York.
Giants had a home game. Brooklyn, the Nets had a home game last night.
A lot going on. CJ, did you get in? You guys, we were texting over the weekend. I guess the big game of the weekend was the Ohio State, Penn State battle for the Big Ten. But before we get into those games, like anybody else, you were in Brooklyn for the weekend. Did you do anything this weekend, CJ?
No, I just sat on the couch, watched a lot of football, man. Yeah. It was a good weekend. Watched a lot of football. The NBA is back full swing, so watched some NBA as well. It was a good sports weekend for your boy. Oh, and I finished a couple of TV shows. Come on in here, Roser. Get you some of this, kid.
Fish waved excitedly.
Yeah, so that's all I did this weekend. Roser, what you get into this weekend?
Watched a bunch of football. Watched the Grizz. I got caught up on the Penguin. There's a couple episodes.
Hey, you're watching the Penguin?
Yeah, there's a couple episodes
the Penguin's my show.
behind the Penguin. So I watched the Penguin.
I'm on episode 4 now.
Okay. What's going on?
Well, I can't tell you that.
It's freaking awesome.
It's great.
Yeah. There's one more episode left in the season.
Doesn't it kind of remind you of The Sopranos a little bit? Like just the feel of it? Like the
Yeah, I was telling Chris, it's dark. It's very dark.
It's dark and the Penguin's hot.
And he said, well, who's the good? Is there like a good character? I was like, no, like they're all bad.
Yeah.
Like everybody in the show is bad. There's not
the Penguin's sort of the good guy.
There's not a hero and a villain. Like they're all bad.
It's just shades of gray. Yeah, it's like all levels.
Which is why it's great.
My son went on yesterday. Did you guys see in Mud Island Park? There was this bouncy house festival thing. Did you guys see that?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like there's a big area on when you cross the bridge to Mud Island. There's a dog park right there.
Yeah.
And then there's a huge field that they play soccer on and stuff. They took over this whole field. They put a fence around it, and there was about, I'd say, 50 different bounce houses. Some of them interconnected, some of them slides, just bounce houses all over the place.
That's cool.
For kids. And my wife texted me from there yesterday. She took my son and some of his friends, and she was like, kids are throwing up everywhere.
Oh, no.
Because they're all eating, like, funnel cakes and stuff.
Right.
And then they're just jumping up and down. She was like, it sounded like I said, this sounds like the first 15 minutes of Saving Private Ryan. Like, it's just carnage. People are sick everywhere, laying down. Kids are they're hosing off the things. Like, it sounded like it was not, maybe not built for us to enjoy. It's a good kids thing, though.
It sounds very similar to where I was on Saturday. We were in Philadelphia, and we went to a bar for lunch, and the place packed up. It was a Penn State bar, and it was just packed with Penn State people. And boy, are they just angry with Jimmy Franklin. It was bad. They were upset with everything they did. They hated the officials. They hate Ohio State. They hate themselves. It was just a lot of hate in this poor bar, a lot of carnage in this poor bar, and throwing up for these Penn State fans who saw themselves fall short once again.
Wouldn't you say with we can start there. I mean, that was the big game of the week in Ohio State, Penn State. We talked about it on Thursday's show, and I said I was going to take Ohio State to cover because Penn State never wins the big game. James Franklin never wins the big game, and they did not win the big game again.
Is that fair, though? Like, I feel like Penn State has played big games and has won.
Not with James Franklin.
Yeah, some of those Wisconsin games were big games that he won. Michigan games were big games, and he's won those games. He hadn't beat Ohio State, which is a problem. But I think we're oversimplifying the James Franklin doesn't win big games. James Franklin doesn't beat Ryan Day.
But the problem is, CJ, it feels like each year it's kind of like Mark Richt.
Very much so. I had that same thought.
It's a good comparison.
Each year it's like you want more. Hey, great 10-2 season, great, but you lost 2 games in a year that you were ranked number 3 in the country, and maybe it was that chance, that possibility that you could go win a national title, and I think that's how people felt this year. And there you go, you lose the game. If you're ever gonna beat Ohio State at home when you're number 3 in the country, isn't that the time to do it?
Yeah. And when Ohio State keeps turning the ball over, there was a pick 6 at the beginning of the game. The guy fumbles it through the end zone. They left every door open possible for Penn State to have a chance in that game. And I don't know about you guys watching that game. I never felt like Penn State was going to win that thing.
I never did either. We were texting during that. It said it felt like Ohio State was the better team, specifically in the first half. Ohio State really could have put that game away in the first half. Now, having said that, Penn State's still going to make the playoff. They're going to win out. And so they'll be in the playoff because of that. A one-loss Big Ten team is going to be in the playoff, especially a Penn State team. If you're a one-loss Penn State team, you're going to be in the playoff.
They make the Big Ten championship?
They don't have to make the playoffs.
They don't have to make the playoff.
How many Big Ten are going to make it? 4?
Ohio State right now. Ohio State, Indiana, Penn State.
Right now they're fourth.
Oregon.
They're fourth in the Big Ten.
Yeah, they're your 4.
Well, right now they're fourth in the Big Ten. Indiana, Oregon, Ohio State are all ahead of them.
Yeah, they would. Yeah.
And let's see, their remaining schedule, Penn State plays Washington, Purdue, Minnesota, Maryland. 4 winnable games, right?
Yeah.
All 4 at home, too.
Yeah, because also what's helping them is there's not another one of these ACC Big 12 teams. Both of those conferences are so blah that it's they're only getting one. Neither one of those conferences are getting
The problem with the ACC is Miami and SMU are set up now to be the 2 teams in the championship of the ACC, and the team that's kind of hot right now is Louisville, but they've already lost 3 games, so they're kind of
they're done.
Yeah,
it would be interesting to see Miami SMU if SMU beat Miami and Miami's got 1 loss, SMU's got 1 loss.
Yeah,
what happens there? Could they take 2 from the ACC?
I don't.
Yeah,
It's the SEC that's the issue because
it's crazy. This is the year we have 12 teams, and it's are there really 12 teams you find worthy of being in the playoff?
Well, in the SEC, there's I think it's 9 teams that have 1 or 2 losses, right? Georgia, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Texas, LSU, Vandy, Ole Miss, Alabama, Missouri. And that's it. So that's 1, 2, 3. It's 9 teams with 1 or 2 losses in the SEC. So you figure maybe a couple more of those weed themselves out, but you're still going to have a bunch of teams with 2 losses.
And they'll be out.
Less.
They'll be out. 2-loss teams will be out.
Georgia, if they lose again, they're out?
Yeah, if Georgia loses again, they'll be out.
I don't think so.
I don't think they will.
Georgia will be out. That means the loss would probably be to Tennessee, right? And so you end up with
Georgia still has to play Ole Miss too.
Yeah, the loss will probably be to Tennessee, and so you're looking up, and it's
not a believer in the.
You're
Rebels.
not a believer in the Rebels either. Don't do that.
Me?
You know you're not a believer in them. Come on, man. So the SEC gets maybe 2-loss Georgia does get in.
Yeah, I think Georgia.
I
think it's one of those things. It's you've got to find teams to do it, and you know the SEC is getting multiple teams. The SEC is going to at least get 4 teams in.
Texas is probably going to get in.
Texas
right? in. Texas A&M.
Question mark.
If they lose to Texas, no.
Okay, Notre Dame's going to get in, right?
Well, if Notre Dame gets in, then Texas A&M gets in.
Well, Notre Dame beat Texas A&M.
Never mind.
I don't know. Rob, do you think Texas A&M gets in?
I don't know. I mean, I'm still not a believer in Texas A&M. I wasn't last week, and I'm not now. Do they still have losses? I'd have to look at their schedule. I don't have it in front of me, but I know we looked at it last week, and it seemed like they should run the table and be in the SEC championship.
Life on the line, Rob. All of you. Life on the line.
What are you talking
Head on the guillotine.
What are we in France?
Head on the guillotine. Yeah. Head on the guillotine. You got to pick one team to win you a game.
You John of Arc.
You got to pick one team to win you the game.
In the SEC?
No, in the country right now. Who do you really believe in? Do you really think Oregon's that awesome?
I know who I would pick. I'm pretty sure. I'm confident in my pick. For what it's worth, Rob, Texas A&M plays New Mexico State, Auburn, and then Texas, the last game.
Texas,
So the
this
Texas
is the
game's
same.
gonna be
Wait.
fun.
This is the same Texas A&M team that lost to South Carolina this week.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're out. They're out unless they beat Texas. They beat Texas. We can
They
have
beat
this
Texas,
conversation.
they'll be in.
Anyway,
But-
the team I would pick to win me one game that I feel pretty confident in is Georgia.
Really?
Even with Carson Beck throwing the ball to the other team
Yeah,
half
it's
the
got to
time.
be kind of scary.
8 picks in the last 3 games, 11 picks in the last 4 games. Not a great number here to share with you. However, the defense is good enough, and I believe in the coaching staff enough that, like, they still won that. They almost covered that game anyway against Florida.
Yeah.
Like, they figure out ways to hang around, and if it's just one game, you need me to win one game, man, Kirby Smart's going to get those dudes fired up. He's going to pull the whole no one believes in us crap, even though
Yeah.
they haven't lost a game in 5 years. All that stuff. Like, I feel pretty good about just in general the Georgia program.
I got 2. Miami is one of them
Because the quarterback.
because Cam Ward is special, and they seem like a team destined. Once again, Miami's had a bad football game and still found their way to not only win, but I'm pretty sure cover after they were trailing by double digits in the fourth quarter. So give me Miami, Cam Ward. They got a destiny thing rolling with them, and Cam Ward is special. And then give me Oregon and Dan Lanning. Like I think Oregon is legit a really good team, best team in the nation right now. Rob, what say you?
Who you got, Rob?
I think.
By the way, this is a shout out to this is what Mad Dog Russo used to do with Francesa all the time on the radio back in the day.
Listen,
Life on
doggy.
the line.
Doggy, listen.
Life on the line. Yeah.
Life on the line. What do you say? I'm going to go with Lang. I think I would take Georgia as well because I would want to take the best team in the SEC, and I think Georgia's the best team in the SEC. And I think when it comes down to like what you said, Lang, Kirby getting his guys ready for one game, especially when no one believes in Georgia, Kirby can get that done, and we've seen it. So they've been the best team over the last 3-4 years. I'd say Georgia until proven otherwise.
Yeah, I think part of the good thing about having this 12-team playoff is there's more room to lose for these teams. You don't have to be perfect all the time. And watching a team like Georgia stumble, and they're still the number 2 team in the country right now, like I still feel like they're the best team in the SEC, and they're getting tested every week against really good Florida's not a terrible team. I mean, and say this for Billy Napier, like those dudes didn't quit on him. Like they're still out there playing, and they, fought hard and all that stuff. I mean, some of the fans, by the text messages I received from some of our mutual friends who are Florida Gator fans, some of the fans thought they had a chance to win, but it didn't work out that way.
Georgia with wins over Clemson and Texas, and let's say they lose one of the Tennessee Ole Miss game, but win the other one and throw Tennessee or Ole Miss in there, even with 2 losses laying. I rescind my previous statement. 2 losses, Georgia gets in to a college football playoff.
Yeah, I think they're in. I think if they lose 3 games, then it's all bets are off. I don't think they're going to lose both games.
I might take Indiana.
No, Indiana's in.
That freaking
No, he means to
I'm
win a
doing
game.
it
To win a
again.
game?
Dude, that Signetti dude, like, they
Yeah.
are awesome.
They are.
No, I feel bad. I've said it for 2 weeks straight for the last 2 weeks, I think. So I'll just stick with it, even though I feel less confident about it after this week. And I'll stick with Ohio State. But, like, damn, man, Will Howard, like, man, the Oregon game where he just, like, slides down on the last play. That's like, yo, man, like, the game's over, man. You don't have timeouts. And then this past week, like the pick six, and then the getting stripped going into the end zone, which that rule is still dumb. That's a touchback. Like, it's so dumb that that's even a rule.
Who decided that was? That was if you fumble it in the end zone.
Damn, man, these are like two big games where you have had like just some horrendous plays in it that have almost, like, in some sense, have cost your team in the Oregon win, but in the Penn State win, it almost did.
If Penn State scores touchdowns when they get inside the 5, we're having a different conversation.
Totally different conversation. I mean, Ohio State, the defender made an amazing play at the end of the first half of that game, or that would have been a touchdown.
The receiver got bricks for hands.
Yeah.
Like, it's in your hand. Catch it, squeeze it.
Ohio State just took it.
What should the penalty be if you fumble it out the end zone?
Your ball from the 20.
Back up.
Goal. First and goal from the 20.
So like even if it's second and goal from the 3 and you fumble it out of the end zone, you take over on the 20.
Take it on the 20, first and 10 from first and goal from the 20.
I'm not mad at that. I mean, that's like you keep the ball, but you got to kind of reset.
I think you just know 10-yard penalty, repeat the down.
Okay.
Like if you were on.
Or you should lose the ball for fumbling it in the end zone.
Well, you don't lose the ball for fumbling it anywhere else.
Well, that's true.
Unless the other team, unless the other team recovers it, you don't lose the ball.
But you
like
should
it's not like
the end
they.
Zone
But
because you're a fool for losing it in the end zone.
But it's not like they recovered it. It's not like Penn State recovered the fumble. Like, if we're just going to award the other team the ball for forcing a fumble, then, like...
Do it everywhere on the field.
Do it everywhere on the field.
If the ball is fumbled out of the sideline.
Oh, it's like the same way when the NFL freaking changed their stupid overtime rules. They changed it just for the playoffs. They did not change it for the regular season. It's like, this is dumb. If you're going to make it the rule, make it the rule.
The overtime rules are terrible in the NFL.
Yeah, it's like, just if you're going to make it the rule, then just make it the rule for the overtime for the regular season too. Like, don't change it.
That's why I like Roser's idea of being a 10-yard penalty, because you keep the ball, but there is you get penalized for fumbling it into the end zone.
I don't know if you get, but here's where I got to figure out: do you get penalized from where you fumbled the ball, or do you get penalized from where the original spot was?
That's a good question.
From the line of scrimmage.
I mean, because if you're saying, so like if it's a first and 10 on your own 20 and you throw an 80-yard bomb and the guy fumbles it out of the end zone, do you go all the way back?
I feel like you shouldn't go all the way back.
Because you got it all the way there.
Yeah, I feel like you shouldn't go all the way back.
So then you get to CJ's idea. Maybe you get it on the 20. You back it up to the 20.
Yeah. And you need to simplify this, so maybe the 20 does make it.
I don't know. This is more confusing than the NFL playoffs.
We don't get paid to figure this out.
I find that a bad rule change. Bad rule change. I mean,
oh my gosh!
You want to keep it?
If it's fourth and goal on the 1 yard line and I fumble in the end zone and I just stopped you on 4 straight downs and you're going to keep the ball for fumbling it?
Well, no.
Well,
hold on.
Keep it now first and goal from the 11.
Well, hold on here. That's 4th down and it's a penalty. Right? It's a penalty. So the defensive team could say, decline, it's our ball. At the 20-yard line, it's a touchback, or a 25. Where the hell did we even get touchbacks now? 25, 30? Where do we go now?
25.
25
in college, it's the 30 in the NFL.
Third and goal. You fumble it on 3rd and goal. You should lose it for being a fool and losing it in the end zone.
So you're saying you could pull a Dan Lanning and take advantage of the rules, intentionally fumble it into the end zone.
Intentionally, like from
get
the
a free
9,
first down.
You could just throw it to the end zone.
No. To me, you don't get a free first down. No. You would take a 10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down. All so right. You'd be, say you fumbled at the 3 into the back of the end zone. Yeah. You would now be 3rd and goal from the 13.
So you're running for the end zone. They've got your legs tied up at the 4. You're about to go down. It's going to be it. You just take the ball and chuck it out the back of the end zone. Oops, I fumbled it.
Why would you do that?
Because now you get another shot at it instead of just being down.
Would you be down inside the 5-yard line? You'd rather be down inside the 5-yard line
with 4th down.
With a 4th down. See, yeah, this is where it's tough.
I don't know.
Terrible.
We haven't even got to the 3 big beats. So Rob, let's take a break.
You're terrible fish.
And we're gonna come back to Rob's terrible 3 big beats of the weekend. We got some nuggets coming up. We got America's Hottest Game Show. Roser has not heard the theme song. Who said it?
Who said it?
We have the Who Said It. We got a banner edition of Who Said It for this week. We got go over our picks. We got free picks, all that stuff. You're watching the Odds Couple here on Grind City Media.
At Southland Casino Hotel, it's time to work hard, play hard with our $500,000 giveaway. Earn entries October through November 9th and take home free play and amazing prizes on select Saturdays, including a big rig. Stay connected on social media for weekly drawing clues. Join us November 9th for the grand finale drawing where you could drive off in a four-wheeler, side-by-side, or big rig. Work hard and play harder at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Welcome back to The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Back to the Odds Couple here on Grind City
Yeah,
Media.
we're back.
I'm Lang Whitaker. That's
Hey,
John
we don't
Roser.
do all
That's
that
CJ
yelling
Hart.
on
We don't
Mondays.
yell on
We
Mondays.
don't yell on Mondays.
Keep it down.
We're
Keep it
back.
quiet.
Sorry, I'm still fired up from Fish's terrible, terrible
Fish is in
things.
Brooklyn. Hopefully you're
Yeah.
watching on. I was just thinking, they mentioned on that ad, you can listen to us on the official Grind City Media app. We don't want you on the unofficial apps.
No.
Only the official Grind City
I
Media
hope you're
app.
not going to your app store and searching unofficial Grind
That's
City
right.
Media.
None of that. Keep it official here. It's time to do our three big beats. We didn't get to them in the first segment because we were arguing about stuff. We have a bonus beat also this week. But Rob, why don't you take us through the three big beats from the weekend?
Well, man, if you had the U minus 20, what a thrilling win that was for you on Saturday. Miami trailed 28-17 as a 20-point favorite. They were down 28-17 in the third quarter, outscored Duke 36-3 the rest of the way to cover the 20. 53-31 was the final score. Miami now 8-0 on the season. It looked like they were going to get their first loss, but they hold on to stay undefeated at 8-0.
How many lives does this team have, Rob? Like eventually, this has to run out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or are they
Man.
going to do this all year?
They still haven't played anybody good.
When teams have, you think, I always think of the Auburn team with Cam. I mean, you have a couple of scares, and you have a couple of wins that you just pull out of your, you just pull them out
Somewhere.
Your keister.
Your butt.
And those happen along the way. You got to get lucky along the way, and I think that happens to the best teams. Number two, we've got to talk about the Jimmy Franklin numbers.
Yeah.
Here are the numbers for you with James Franklin at Penn State: 1-7 against top 10 teams at home.
All right.
6-10 against ranked teams at home.
Oof.
1-9 against top 5 teams, and 1-10 against Ohio State. But as Roser said, and he's right, they're still in the playoff. So
Yeah, is that enough?
They're going to lose in the first game.
They'll have a
well, if
home
they
game.
did, then that
Won't
wouldn't be
they?
enough.
They won what were they, 6-10 at home and against
That's a
ranked
good point.
teams. Like they're not good.
That's good. James Franklin and Penn State back on the Mark Richt comparison. good enough to be third best in that conference every single year, and that eventually that becomes a problem for you.
You know how Georgia got better?
I don't know. That gets you in the playoff now.
You know how Georgia got better? We fired Mark Richt.
Got rid of Mark Richt and made the right hire.
Yep.
Right, like you can't just
Penn State, Signetti.
So maybe I was thinking that, but
I saw Signetti to Michigan mentioned.
I think Florida's. Well, I don't know if they're going to fire Napier now. I don't know if they're going to.
I wanted that game to stay close just for Billy Napier to get some job security to give make Florida hang on for like another year or two. It might. I don't know. People like Florida fans like him after the way they played the other night. Anyway,
do they? What have you been scouring the GatorBites.com?
I'm on the message boards. I'm on the boards.
Number 3, Jimmy Franklin's old team, Vanderbilt. How about Vandy?
Let's
going
go.
bold.
We knew it. We called it.
Man, I watched some of that game.
Well, because it was exciting. First time Vandy has wins against Alabama and Auburn in the same season since 1955. Ooh. They're going bowling for the first time since 2018, and they're doing it after what? 8 weeks? After 8 games?
Yeah.
They're going bowling. My goodness, this team had a total on the season of 2.5. 2.5. Man, glad we told you to take the over.
We did. We were right. You said it was the first time since 1955 that Vanderbilt beat Alabama and Auburn. Like that's pre-Bear Bryant.
No.
I mean, I assume so. He was born in 1933. So, unless he took over, I know he coached Texas A&M before Alabama. So, unless he took over when he was 22, it must have been before his time. So, the fun big beat of the week. I sent this to Fish yesterday. In the Dolphins game, Dolphins-Bills yesterday, Tua had a prop bet over under 243.5.
Yeah.
He had 254 yards with 5 seconds left in the game. They tried to do one of those crazy Stanford last-second plays to get the ball down the field. Throws it to Jalen Waddle, who runs straight backwards for minus 24 yards and gets tackled.
It's a tough one.
Terrible.
And Tua finishes.
It's a tough one, yeah.
Under
yeah.
the number.
That's awful.
That is a tough beat. Dan Lanning. I don't know if you watched the end of the Oregon game. They were favored by 14.5.
Oh yeah.
And they were up 14 with 38 seconds left. All they had to do was take a knee. They had 2 downs to take knees, and the game was over. And instead, they kept running the football and scored a touchdown in the final minute to give me the cover.
Yeah.
Which was fantastic because the 14.5 turned into 21 with that last second touchdown instead of taking the knee. Dan Lanning going for the kill, and I loved it from Dan Lanning. Thank you.
Yeah, I also think another one was the Saints and the Panthers. It's a bad beat because if you bet on the Saints, you lost to the freaking Panthers.
Your coach got fired today.
And then your coach got fired. Like, man, that stinks.
Although I know a lot of Aints fans, and they were pretty happy about that.
Oh, yeah, they are. They're happy.
Everybody's pretty thrilled about Dennis Allen getting the Evo down there. I was hoping Dennis Allen would get another year to try to work things out in New Orleans. He deserved the time.
Yeah,
okay. He really does.
We didn't talk about the Georgia-Florida game that much. I don't know if you guys watched it. I mean, I clearly watched the entire game. Carson Beck was brutal for most of the game. I was begging them to take him out of the game. He finished with 3 interceptions. But Kirby Smart after the game says, we don't win that game if Carson Beck doesn't make those plays for us. I mean, he finished, let me actually look at the numbers. I don't know what he exactly finished with. Had to be over 250 yards passing. He made some big plays down the stretch when Georgia needed it and got some scores. We ended up winning 34-20. If you look at that, Georgia wins 34-20, scores 34 points and has 3 turnovers. That's kind of remarkable to me, and it speaks as much as about Georgia's defense. Carson Beck, 309 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 INTs. I feel like they got Ole Miss this week in Oxford. It's a day game, 3:30 or 2:30 kickoff. They just announced, so it's the ABC game. But I feel like Georgia might win that game. Ole Miss beat the pants off Arkansas this weekend.
Yeah.
So we just need your initial reaction. Not too deep. We'll talk more about that on Thursday.
It makes me want to believe in Ole Miss a little bit, but
Doesn't it though?
no, I don't.
63 to 31.
The 2.5 point line, or what did you say it was, Lang?
I don't even know the line.
Oh, okay. I think it was 2.5.
Georgia's only favored by 2.5.
Yeah,
That's a max bet.
That scares me, thinking maybe I do believe in Ole Miss a little bit because it's only 2.5. Because that just seems too easy for Georgia. But Georgia,
game day's going to be there, aren't they?
No.
Georgia has not been covering at all, and even in victory, they have not been covering. And if you don't cover this week against Ole Miss, you're going to lose the game.
2:30. Where's game day going to be?
I saw it, and it's not Georgia and Ole Miss. I would have perked up if I'd seen that. I'm going to look and try to remember where it is.
Florida, Texas, Purdue, Ohio State.
Yeah, they can't knock off Ole Miss if Beck is going to turn
It's
the ball
LSU.
over the
It's
way
LSU,
he's
Texas A&M. Is that who plays this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
LSU plays somebody. That's where game day is.
LSU.
Alabama.
LSU.
Alabama, LSU. They're in Baton Rouge.
Yeah,
They should be in Oxford.
probably.
Yeah.
Beck's got to take care of the ball.
Yeah.
At a certain point, man, you're going to lose games. You're going to lose to one of these good teams.
Yeah.
Because you just can't take care of the ball. So much about being a quarterback we think is pushing the ball downfield and total yards and passing touchdowns. If I could get a quarterback who could get me 1 to 2 first downs on every single drive and not turn the ball over, I take him 10 times out of 10, man. And Carson Beck right now is putting his team behind the 8 ball with all these turnovers he's had.
Georgia also got lucky that DJ Lagway got hurt. The Florida quarterback.
That kid who came in was 7 of 22.
the Yale transfer. The
Yeah,
third string.
it's also too like, man, if your first time,
Yeah, against
like, you just get through. You take no snaps in practice, and you literally just get thrown into the fire in the middle of a game against Georgia. It's like you're
it's sort
screwed.
of like picking up like Madden or college football for the first time and playing on Heisman mode.
Yeah,
And you're just
right.
Like,
It's
what
like-
do I do? I
yeah.
can't. Everybody's in my face. I'm just going to throw it.
It's moving way too fast.
Yeah, that's what it looked like for him. Georgia outscored them 28-7 in the second half of that game to get the win. And now Ole Miss this weekend. So I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna do some more research into that this week.
Oh yeah.
But I feel pretty good about that. Rob, what games you were watching? Penn State, Ohio State, right? Did anything else catch your eye this weekend?
Yeah, I was watching that one. Unfortunately, they had all the Big Ten games on. They didn't. They didn't show anything for SEC, and then they had Toledo. Their game was on. I mean, it was terrible. But the main card was that one, and watching the SEC games, watching the Ole Miss, and see what they did against Arkansas. Because of that, we talked so much about it on Thursday and what that game usually entails and how it usually finishes. It was nothing like that this week as Ole Miss just ran through them. And, so that does have to give Ole Miss a lot of confidence. I don't know. What we talked about with Georgia earlier about needing one win.
Yeah.
Don't they approach this game like that?
Georgia?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a must-win game for sure.
Yeah, but it's must win for Ole Miss too, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't think they know
Okay.
that.
Okay.
They're gonna make some cool TikToks and stuff. Like they don't ever approach games like that. I don't think so. I was actually, the game that I'm kind of interested in this weekend. Last weekend Vanderbilt played Auburn. Vanderbilt was an underdog. We told everyone, take Vanderbilt. What are you doing? Vanderbilt's gonna win this game, and they won the game and covered. This week Vanderbilt plays at home against South Carolina, coming off the big Texas A&M.
Team.
Guess who's favored?
South Carolina.
South Carolina's favored by 3.5 points.
They're the weirdest team in the SEC line.
They are very weird. I don't know what to make of them week after week. They're so like some weeks they look awesome, some weeks they look awful. I just feel like, let's see, they're 3-3 in their last 6 games. Lost to LSU, lost to Ole Miss, lost to Alabama, beat Akron, beat Oklahoma, and then beat Texas A&M 44-20. Like it wasn't even close. So
They're a game
It came
away,
close
though.
to beating Alabama.
Came close to beating LSU.
yeah.
Came close to beating LSU. That's right.
Yeah, lost to Alabama and LSU by a combined 5 points.
Should have beat LSU. That was a joke call
Yeah.
there on that late pick 6. But beat LSU, we're having a different conversation about South Carolina. One of my surprise teams in the SEC right now has been South Carolina. I thought Beamer would be on a hot seat of sorts by this point in time during the season. And to give him credit, he's more than just the gimmicks that you gotta have as a college football coach to help with recruiting. He's actually out there coaching dudes up, and they're making plays, they're making winning plays, and they're right there knocking on the door of some of the best teams in the SEC.
You know what, guys? I don't know about you guys. It's 2:30. Getting a little hungry. I feel like I could use some nuggets.
Nuggets.
Yeah.
Some nugs.
Some nugs.
Anybody got any nugs?
I got some.
All right. Feed us.
All right. We'll start with Jackson Dart. What a day he had on Saturday. He is the second quarterback in SEC history to have 500 passing yards and 6 touchdowns in a single game. The only other quarterback to do that is Drew Lock.
Nice.
Yeah, Drew Lock getting some love there. Army, 8-0 for the third time since 1950. They haven't trailed this season, although they did not cover the spread this weekend.
Their quarterback didn't play this week, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I think it was their
Phillips
backup. Like the good quarterback didn't play this game, so they, I think we throw this one out in terms of the covering thing.
Okay. Well, I'll come back with them this week. All right, Diego Pavia, Hugh Freeze, nemesis.
Yeah.
Beat him for the third year in a row. New Mexico State beating Liberty, New Mexico State beating Auburn, and now Vanderbilt beating Auburn. New Mexico State and Vanderbilt are 2 horrendous programs. So, congratulations to Hugh Freeze.
Does that mean is he a junior?
No, Pavia can't be coming back.
If
can
he's
he?
won 3,
let's hope.
He's not going to the NFL.
Why not?
Because they're going to give him the same.
Cam Rising.
You're
type
telling
treatment.
me if Spencer Rattler can start in an NFL game, so can Diego Pavia. Debate me on that. Debate me. I dare you to debate me.
Here's the thing.
Pavia's listed as a senior.
Does he have that COVID year
I
eligibility?
don't know. He's played 3 years. I'm going to look it up. Keep
Who
going.
else? Who started for the Dolphins while Tua was out?
Huntley.
Tim Boyle and Tyler. Yeah, if they can start NFL games, damn it, Diego Pavia can start NFL games.
Yeah, but they shouldn't be starting NFL games.
But they are.
Okay. All right.
But they are. That's all I'm saying. Who's the other? Jake Hayner? Didn't he come in after Spencer Rattler got benched? Like, come on. Why can't Diego Pavia play in the NFL?
I think Pavia only has 1 year left. This is his last year.
Okay.
From what I can tell.
That's unfortunate.
I know.
That's terrible.
That would be
It's
awesome.
great news for Hugh
Have one more
Freeze.
year yet? Yeah.
Hugh Freeze was actually trying to check. He was like, I'm just going to go recruit this guy and have him be my
If
quarterback.
he had another year at Vanderbilt, I'd buy season tickets again.
Because it'll be a special season.
Yeah.
You're talking about like 9-10 win Vanderbilt right there.
10-win Vandy.
10 win Vandy.
Jeez, how about that?
Buy a piece of those
all right,
goalposts.
next, Texas A&M. By the way, if you weren't a believer of A&M, how about this number? 4-11-1 in their last 16 games against the spread. Not good. Not good. Detroit Lions in the Shield have their longest win streak since 2010-2011 of 6 games. Green Bay, meanwhile, 0-2 in the division for the first time since 2005.
Wow.
I
hit
think,
you?
I was going to say, I think top to bottom, the Lions are the best team in the NFL right now.
Can I hit you with a?
I think they're the best coach team. They're prepared every week.
I think they might be. It's them or Baltimore. I think the most talented. I think they're the most talented teams. Like top to bottom, their rosters you would take. And I know before you get at me with Kansas City's offense leaves things to be desired on their offense. It does. Their left tackle position is not great. Mahomes makes up for a lot, but the receiver room we know is not great. DeAndre Hopkins will help, but he's still DeAndre Hopkins and he's older. I think if you just go talented rosters top to bottom, I think Kansas City and Baltimore.
Lions have more touchdowns than incompletions their last 6 games.
They have more touchdowns than incompletions.
I think I went back and count. I heard that stat.
I think it's last 7 games. I think
it's the last. There's no way this stat is true, and I went back and was like, okay, let's count them up. I think it's
That's
17
insane.
incompletions and 29 touchdowns. I think.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, they're about to get Zadarius Smith in a trade with the Browns. They're about to trade for him. The deadline's tomorrow, I think. So they're going to trade for Zadarius Smith. That's at least all the reports. Like multiple people expect them to get him. They have the best offensive line in the NFL. I don't even think it's close that they have the best O-line in the NFL. They're without Jamison Williams. They'll eventually get him back.
Yep. Maybe.
Amon-Ra St. Brown's one of the 10 best receivers in the NFL. The two-headed monster of Gibbs and Montgomery. Laporta hasn't really totally gotten cracking yet. Man, and their defense, God, they get just timely picks like that Kirby Joseph pick 6, which, Rob, you picked Green Bay to go to the Super Bowl, and it's certain. No. It is possible, but the one thing you're going to have to overcome, and is why when you say last year, it's well, Green Bay should have beaten the 49ers in that playoff game. Maybe so. But that interception that he threw yesterday against that pick 6 he threw yesterday against the Lions, dude, Jordan Love makes 2 or 3 of those kinds of throws every single game where you're like, holy crap, dude, what are you doing? And sometimes it gets picked off and sometimes it doesn't. And he had 2 of them in that playoff game against the Niners, and they both got picked off. And he had that one yesterday to Kirby Joseph, and it got picked off and it got returned. And it's dude, you're flirting with dynamite. You're that doesn't make sense. You're playing with you can flirt with dynamite. You can flirt with dynamite.
Hey, listen, we don't kink shame on Mondays.
Yeah,
is that what she told you her name was?
We don't kink shame on Mondays. We don't kink shame on Mondays. Jordan Love does this a couple times a game, and
what day do we?
It's what I think if the Packers don't make a playoff run, I think if the Packers lose in the playoffs and they make the playoffs and they lose in the playoffs, what you will point to why they lose is Jordan Love is going to have a terrible interception or a terrible fumble.
Yeah.
On the topic of how good that Lions offensive line is, they threw this next gen stat up during the football game. Gibbs is hitting the hole at an average speed of 11 miles per hour, which is by far and away the fastest in the NFL. And the average for a running back hitting the hole is 9 points.
So
the holes are there. He sees them and he's like, oh, I'll just run this way as fast as I can.
It's crazy.
And then by the time he gets to the second level, you're done for.
You see Montgomery run behind the offensive line. I mean, both of those guys, it's there's just, they go untouched for at least it feels like it's at least 3.5 to 4 yards, before they ever even get touched by the defense.
Yeah.
Rob, you got one more?
Sure. Yeah, we got one more fish nugget. The Miami Dolphins, it's a quick one. Dolphins have lost 9 straight games at Buffalo, although they did cover yesterday, much to my chagrin.
Yeah.
But the Dolphins have lost 9 straight at Buffalo. Buffalo has just owned the Miami Dolphins, even though it wasn't easy yesterday.
Josh Allen 13-2 against the Dolphins all time.
Yeah, that game was That game was fun. I am a purchaser of Sunday Ticket, so I have Sunday Ticket now. And that game, there were scores on the last 7 possessions of the game combined. That game, that was a fun game at the end. Josh Allen's freaking awesome.
Do you watch any of the first place Atlanta Falcons?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Y'all were already up.
Yep. Yeah, we were. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back, and it's going to be time for America's hottest game show. Who said it? We'll be right back in a second here on The Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
Lace is really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges. I gotta get them. And you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
John Cena was spilling life lessons on this stream, bro. So the best thing I watched all week, John Cena on the Cassinet stream. By the way, he stole your hairdo. You got to make a phone call.
I was about to say, you showed me a little bit of this clip because I saw the messy room, and the only thing I could see is John Cena's hair. I mean, come on, bro.
He stole your bar.
It's literally identical.
He stole your flow, bar for bar, word for word.
How is mine more gray than his, though?
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Justin Timberlake. I'm bringing sexy back. The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now. For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzlies stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Odds Couple here on Grind City Media. That's the Who Said It remix from Pitbull, I believe. Is that who?
Yes.
Yeah, that's from Pitbull, the rapper. We all enjoy his work. We enjoy his remix of the Who Said It theme song. I'm Lane Whitaker, John Roser, CJ Hurt, Rob Fisher's in Brooklyn. And we're going to do America's Hottest Game Show, the game show sweeping the nation. Who Said It? And it's time for clip number 1. And this one's not really a quote, John. Oh. Which coach sang to his wife in the post-game locker room?
Oh, Beamer.
Incredible.
It's great. It's a Fantasia song.
Yeah, we can roll the clip, Kyra, and
very
we'll
romantic.
Talk over it. This is Fantasia's When I See You.
All right, last one right here, then we're going to break it down.
Incredible moment.
My wife, family.
I know how Beamer knows this song.
He says the players sing in practice all the
Why
time.
do the children know this? Those are kids. They were like 5 or 6 when that song was popping.
I told my kids
but I love the fact that they know
it. This football game. All right, I was going to do a little celebration for
He's got a whole dance worked out for it.
Oh, yeah, because he sings this to her in the morning
sometimes. I know y'all sing this song in practice, so I'm going to need a little backup right here. But this is her little birthday. Hit it, Big Mike.
They're really into this.
Oh, yeah.
This is good stuff right here. Sunshine says your name. See you walk in my direction. I'll turn the other way. My knees get weak. What's happening to me in the dark? And tell me what it means. I lay my head on a pillow, staring out the window. She was at Landers a couple of weeks ago, wasn't she? You're always on my mind. When you come around, I get shy when I see you.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? His wife's right there in the middle of like all the players, man.
Yeah.
It must have stunk right there. All the sweating dudes.
A lot of Fermunda.
That would have been kind of awkward had they lost the game.
A lot of Grundle butter.
All right, let's go on clip 2. This is a whole back and forth. It happened in the locker room this week. Player says, I hope they got some good food because I'm a picky eater. I hope they got something I can eat. The reporter says, they have good chocolate. Player says, I don't eat candy like this. The reporter says, what are your no-goes? Player says, I don't eat seafood. I don't eat peppers and onions and all that. I don't eat vegetables like that, really. Reporter says, you eat like pizza? Yeah, I just started eating asparagus. I eat like string beans and green peas. They have to be cooked in bacon grease. Nah. No seafood? No, I'm allergic.
You didn't read it the right way.
I know.
You didn't read it the right way. This is Xavier Legette. Former South Carolina player.
Former South Carolina
now the
player.
Carolina Panthers.
And Fish, have you seen this clip?
No, I have not.
So listen to the way he says the word asparagus when she says you eat like pizza. But go ahead and roll it, Kai.
Just hope they got some good food. I'm a picky eater, so I just hope they got something I can eat.
They have good chocolate.
I don't eat candy like this.
Well, what are your no-goes? You say you're a picky eater. What are your no-goes?
Yeah, I don't eat seafood. I don't eat like peppers and onions and all that. I don't really eat vegetables like this.
What? So you eat like pizza?
Yeah, and like I just started eating asparagus. Like string beans and
Listen
green
when he
peas.
says allergic.
That's not a surprise for some reason.
Do they have to be cooked in bacon grease? Do they have to be cooked in bacon grease?
No. That ain't like that.
Pasta?
Yeah, I eat some pasta.
Okay.
Yeah, I eat some pasta.
Chicken, steak, all the regular stuff.
Yeah,
No
all the regular.
seafood though?
No, I'm allergic.
I love how country he is. I love how country
I was thinking,
he is.
like I've been trying to half-heartedly, admittedly, trying to find Ed Orgeron's contact so we could try to get him to do the voiceovers for this show. Like that should be our next option.
Let's see if we don't need Ed Orgeron's contact. And he on what's a place you go to pay for people to
Cameo. He hasn't done one in years. I looked. Yeah, he used to be on there. But Xavier Legette would be a good good backup for that. All right.
We'd have to put certain words in there though.
Yeah. We aren't allergic to helping you win your bets. Asperger's.
Allergic.
He's almost like King of the Hill, like
Boom Howard.
One of the King of the Hill guys.
Yeah.
All right, clip 3. This is a coach press conference. Not a whole lot of back and forth. Nothing really. I said it a year ago. We would be back to get it, and we came back to get it. Whatever is said is said. I'm good. I think it was said that we recruit against each other, that we don't like each other. I got a lot of respect for the staff. I think they do a really good job. I don't specifically think we recruit against each other. I can't think of a guy we had to beat them on. We certainly run into them. I got a lot of respect for a lot of those guys.
This doesn't seem like a coach who has respect for those guys on the other
Well,
side.
the fact that like in the middle of the quote he says we don't really like each other. I got a lot of respect for the staff.
Yeah. We don't recruit against each other. This seems like a coach who's feeling high and mighty. Everything in me
Ryan
wants
Day?
that Rob. Yeah, I feel like this is Ryan Day.
Yeah, it is, Roser.
I'm trying to think. I was going to look at, who played.
You're not going to figure this out.
It's not Ryan Day?
No.
It's got to be Ryan Day. Ryan Day's the type of person who will make that sort of a comment. It's like, we don't recruit against each other. We get whatever we want.
PJ Fleck of Minnesota.
PJ Fleck? Talking about who?
Illinois.
Ain't no way in hell is PJ Fleck.
Kyra, why don't you just roll the clip and we'll see who it is.
Not a whole lot of back and forth. Nothing really. Just.
So he got into it with Tom Herman.
We would be back to get it.
Alex Goulash,
South
South Florida.
I love what he walked.
Whatever said is said. I'm good. I think it was said that we recruit against each other. I think it, said we don't like each other.
Kyra, I don't know if you can. It's like threaded in the tweet, but the tweet below it is actually the post game scene. They walk past each other in the field and refuse to shake hands and just kind of kept it moving.
Good stuff.
I can't think of a guy that we had to go beat them on. We certainly run into them. Got a lot of respect for a lot of those guys. But I said we were coming back to get it. Last year at the end of the game, we got embarrassed at home. We came and got it. And, we'll continue to do so.
Yeah.
The best part also is in the middle of it. Tom Herman's like he Goulash just walks by and won't shake his hand.
Yeah.
Herman comes back.
Herman comes back for him,
and Herman's wife jumps in and like pulls him away. And is like, no, just
and
he's let it go.
And Goulash is like, he's just walking, shaking the FAU player's hands, like, good job. And you can see Herman talking to him, and he's like,
that was great.
Because they came back to get it.
And they did.
They did.
They got it.
And they got it.
And they'll continue to
They
get
came
it.
back and got it. All right, clip 4. Player says, I have love for him, and when he does that, I don't really care for it, obviously. I've had many teammates over the year, and he's the one dude I didn't get along with, so I don't know what I did to him. I don't know why he feels that way. I'm sorry for whatever he's dealing with to make him feel like he's got to do that. I don't know.
That is, and he didn't cry yet. That's Derek Carr talking about Michael Thomas.
In the midst of all of those Michael Thomas tweets, the homie quote tweeted Devin in the midst of it, or retweeted Devin's retweet of the South Carolina video. Okay. So Michael Thomas is going in on Derek Carr, and then he's like, oh, book, I'm going to retweet this video. That's fun from Devin Walker.
You can play it, Carr. Actually, I wrote David Carr on the thing because I was so confused by
Michael Thomas was on social media today. Again, kind of insinuating that your pass was the reason a lot of it. And I know this is the second time he's done this.
Dennis Allen got fired.
Yeah.
And Michael Thomas just tweeted, I told y'all.
Yeah, I mean,
your reaction?
I have love for Mike, and when he does that, I don't really care for it, obviously. I've had so many teammates over the years, and he's like the one dude that didn't get along with me. And I don't know what I did to him. I don't know why he feels that way. I'm sorry, for whatever he's dealing with to make him feel like he's got to do that. I don't know, but he's never called me during any of this. My phone number has never changed. I've in fact called him on different occasions. Just to try. And sometimes you can try as hard as you want, and it just doesn't work out, and that's okay. So I don't know why he feels any type of way. I didn't see it. I won't see it because I always ignore everything, good and bad. I try to ignore everything.
He said this is the second time he's had to respond to this, so I guess he's not ignoring
especially
it.
coming from a player like that. But I wish him the best. I hope he gets on a team and does what he wants to do and,
I hope
and
he
loves
gets
it.
on the team.
You know how mad a person has to be to put it on their grandmother? Like my man said, on my granny, Derek Carr's back.
It hurts. It's
Kyra.
I know the next one.
All right, how about this? We know
I'm
the
not
next
sure
one.
I would say.
Now we
That was Joe. Brr. Oh.
Now she's yelling in our
Big
ear. Why is
brr.
it doing that? Because you hit play, Kyra. That's why.
Goodness, Kyra.
Kyra's just fired up from that Eagles
She's
win
been watching
yesterday.
that
The
Tyrese
Eagles
video.
are turning around.
Eagles
their
are 6-2.
season. Yeah, and they got the Cowboys are hobbled, and that's who they get to play next
55-minute
week.
Tyrese video just ended. And
Oh,
then
my God.
That's it. Auto played those.
Hey,
tweets.
we
That's
don't
what happened.
need a 55-minute monologue, man.
The next one was going to be Dabo Sweeney, as we already saw the clip. Do we know why I pulled Dabo apologizing?
Because they lost.
You know what? But there was a coaching mistake by Dabo.
No, what was it?
Dabo down the stretch. They were losing by like whatever 18 something. They got a touchdown. They had a chance to go for 2, which would have made it an 11-point game with 6 minutes left. So then you're down 2 scores, right?
Yeah.
He kicked the extra point and made it a 12-point game. So now you're down by 3 scores. And immediately when it happened, Bob Wisheisen or whatever his name is on ESPN.
Wischusen.
Yeah, went in on him and was like, this is the wrong decision. What are you doing? And, Dabo, he's like, oh, no, don't worry about it. We got it. So you see, he said he said, we look like a very poorly coached team tonight, so that's on me. Simple as that. I think, but that loss actually hurts Georgia, too, because now all of a sudden the win over Clemson doesn't look as good as it did.
But it's still a top 15 win, isn't it?
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
It'll
sure
still be a
my
top
picks
20 when
went
it's all
like
done.
0-5 last week.
Round up to 5-0, baby.
Yeah, we round up.
Yeah.
70%.
And then the last one was going to be Joe Burrow before Kyra played it already.
Joe,
I don't know
what does he say?
You want to just play it. Just go ahead and play the last one. If you're there.
I'm not sure I would say surprised. I think it's always an adjustment when you get to this schedule. It's not college. You're here early. You're here late a couple days. And then you got to do extra stuff outside the building to put yourself in a position to be great. And when it's an adjustment period when you first get into the league, and it's something you got to learn.
So what happened?
Jermaine Burton, rookie,
The kid played at Georgia and Bama.
missed the walkthrough, and was late or something like that. And then during the game, there was a situation. If you watch on Twitter, Burrows tries to sit next to him on the bench at some point during the game, and gets up and walks away angrily because Burton didn't want to sit next to him. I don't know what's going on. But then after the game, they asked Joe Burrow, "Are you surprised the player wouldn't be adjusted to NFL life at this point of the season?" And he kind of threw him under the bus a little bit, which rightfully so sounds like.
Yeah, come on, man.
Basically telling him, you have to do extra stuff.
Yeah.
Grow up.
There aren't practice restrictions like
So you think playing at Georgia and Alabama, if any two
Right.
places would have prepared you for that? But,
Right.
Whatever.
3 quarterbacks in the NFL have 20 passing touchdowns on the season, 20 or more passing touchdowns on the season so far. Baker Mayfield, 21 leads the way. Lamar Jackson has 20. Baker has 21. And Joe Burrow has 20.
Brr.
2, 3, let me check my notes. 3 5-touchdown passing performances this year in the NFL. Joe Burrow has 2 of those.
All right.
Lamar's got the other one.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hugh Freeze didn't throw anybody under the bus this week, Lang?
No, I couldn't find anything. I looked, actually. He's on my roundup of coaches I go look for quotes from, and I didn't see anything too worthwhile from that. I was actually also trying to find Signetti talking some smack, but he didn't really. He tweeted something about now we know what happens when we fall behind. But
did anyone see the interview with Kevin Burleson and Jameis Winston pregame?
Oh, no. I need to forget and put Jameis. I got to remember to put Jameis.
That was Nate Burleson.
Or Nate Burleson, I'm sorry.
Yes, I saw briefly the very beginning of it. And
unwavering faith.
Unwavering
faith.
I love Jameis. He's so goofy. Yeah. He's so goofy. I mean, I wouldn't say I love Jameis Winston. He's goofy and he's funny to listen to talk.
He is goofy.
And that's about it.
Major milestone for Jameis this weekend. He threw his 100th interception. So
nice.
congratulations to Jameis and all of his unwavering faith.
Yeah.
Good job.
Unwavering incompletions.
Yeah, just pain. Just pain everywhere. A lot of it. Pain.
All right, Jameis. Shut the hell up.
I'm glad he's starting for an NFL team.
Yeah, I know.
I'm glad he's
I mean, look, at least makes the Browns entertaining.
Yeah,
dude. I felt so bad for Nate Burleson. I mean, it was
as an
an uncomfortable interview with Jameis. You need to look it up because it was just, and it's Jameis looking at the screen. You know, he gets in there, and he looks at it. And he goes, unwavering faith. And that's it. That's all he says. And then Burleson's like, exactly. Unwavering faith. And then asked the next question. And then it was about unwavering faith. It was remarkable. I'm glad Jameis is on a team too, and we get the pleasure of watching him every week.
Too.
Maybe his faith needs to waver some.
Maybe it needs to waver.
You can't keep throwing the ball in harm's way under the guise of unwavering faith, because you can have all the faith you want to.
Yeah.
You put that ball in the air to be intercepted. That's how you end up with 3 interceptions in a game.
He's got faith like a mustard seed, but it's the wrong seed.
You can't have faith that much.
Yeah.
You can't have. Jameis Winston looks like he's throwing the ball up and then saying a prayer as it's in there, and it's like, oh well. What are you going to do? Be a better quarterback, Jameis.
He's saying the prayer in the pregame interview. He's saying, I got unwavering faith. Now we're throwing this thing up in the air. Take care of me here.
That's not how Jesus works, man.
Yeah, I guess not. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back, wrap this thing up. You're watching The Odds Couple here on Grind City Media.
At Southland Casino Hotel, it's time to work hard, play hard with our $500,000 giveaway. Earn entries October through November 9th and take home free play and amazing prizes on select Saturdays, including a big rig. Stay connected on social media for weekly drawing clues. Join us November 9th for the grand finale drawing where you could drive off in a 4-wheeler, side-by-side, or big rig. Work hard and play harder at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Welcome back to The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back to the Odds Couple here on Grind City Media.
Sing along,
Lang.
man.
He's CJ, he's John, he's Fish.
Lang, John, CJ, and Fish.
It's time for a little slow jam. What do we call it?
Slow jam.
Quiet storm.
Quiet storm.
The quiet storm.
Shout out Quincy Jones. Rest in peace. 91 years old. Passed away today. We're going to close this thing out. We're going to take a look at some of the early lines for next week. They're already out. We could start. We didn't even talk about the Memphis game.
Oh, for good reason.
Good.
Yeah. We didn't talk about UTSA and Memphis and the debacle that was. We told everyone stay away. We said don't bet on Memphis. We said they played to the level of their opponent, and they did exactly that and lost a dumb game. Knocked themselves out of any chance they had left for a playoff. So, anyway.
They did.
We can look for the what do you want to start with, Tuesday and Wednesday games?
I got two free picks on the Tuesday and Wednesday games if you'd
All
like.
right. We love free picks.
We're going Bowling Green minus the 12.5 against CMU.
I love that pick.
Thank you very much. Bowling Green's covered 4 of the last 5 against CMU. CMU's 3-12-1 against the spread the last 16. The other one I'm going with is Ohio minus the 18.5 at Kent. Kent is 3-13-1 against the spread their last 17. So taking those two here on Tuesday and Wednesday.
All right.
Nice.
We can look ahead to the SEC this weekend also. We talked about the Georgia-Ole Miss game that's coming up. Florida is at Texas. DJ Lagway is not ruled out of that game. Chance he could play.
And that South Carolina-Vanderbilt game is interesting because
I'm all over
South
Vandy.
Carolina's so weird. Vandy is very rootable.
I trust Vandy at this point. Do we trust Vandy? I trust him, yeah.
Yes.
How
It
do you not?
was everything in me not to say Vanderbilt when Rose was like, your life on the line, one team to go out there and win the game. But and it's all because of Pavia.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if Mizzou's got anything in them, they should crush Oklahoma.
I don't think they got anything in them, though, Rob.
Oh, that's too bad.
You might be right. It's only a 2.5 point line.
Yeah,
I might be on the Oklahoma side of that.
Okay, one game out of that you absolutely have to stay away from. Which are you picking? And I'm saying you're going to bet the rest of them. But there's one, you only get one of these where you say, absolutely not. I will not touch it. But the rest of them you have to bet. Which one are you not taking?
Florida, Texas.
That line is large.
Tennessee, Mississippi State, maybe.
That line is also large.
Tennessee messes around in some of those big games too, and just wins by 14 or something.
Yeah, Tennessee, Mississippi State would be the one I'd stay away from.
Tennessee almost messed up last week.
Yeah.
I really think it might be South Carolina Vandy. I would just stay away from. I don't know. I would take Oklahoma against Missouri.
To cover or straight up?
I mean, hell, both. I'm saying I would bet it. I'd either bet the spread or I bet money line. I lean Alabama.
Yeah.
I lean Bama. Mississippi State, Tennessee, I'd just take the under. I'm just betting something on the game. Georgia, Ole Miss, I'd lay the points with Georgia.
That's Alabama at night at Death Valley.
Yeah. And Texas, Florida, I'd lay the points with Texas.
I think the Georgia Ole Miss play might be the under.
54.5.
Yeah, it could be. I'm just saying that of South Carolina Vandy, that's the one where I'm like, man, I don't know if I'd touch that.
I'm all over it. I'm touching. Touch. Let me touch this team.
Touch me, tease me. I like it.
Touch my body.
Put me on the floor. Play with me some more. Touch my body.
Let's look at the Tigers line for this week. I don't even know who we're playing. Who's Memphis got on the schedule?
Rice,
this week?
Friday night.
Little fried rice. Friday night.
At Simmons at the Liberty Holds. 9.5. The Tigers are favored. Rice coming off a big multiple score win over the midshipmen in the Naval Academy. Tigers, is this a get-right game or is Rice improving?
Is Rice cooking?
Can you have a get-right game, 10th game of the year?
You got to get right.
You got to get right at some point.
Yeah. You got to get right.
You can't get wrong.
You don't want to get wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, although Tigers lost to Rice in basketball, do they lose to Rice in football?
It's a good question.
No, Tigers have dominated on games not played on Saturday.
Dominated.
So they'll dominate again. But will they cover?
They did not dominate last year against Tulane on a Friday night. They did not. They got beat that game.
Well, through the years, John.
through the years. I care about Coach Silverfield and what he has done since he has been coaching the Tigers on weeknight games. That's what I care about because that's what matters. It doesn't matter what Norvell or Fuente or Porter or West or Scherer or
you can stop.
You're just
the
making
guy
up
before
names
Rip
now?
Scherer.
No,
Who was the guy
those
before
are
Rip Scherer?
coaches.
Rip Scherer.
Yeah, they're all coaches. Yeah, Rip Scherer. He was the head coach when they beat Tennessee.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Tony Scorpino.
We got Monday Night Football tonight.
Oh.
We do.
Yeah. Chiefs 9-point favorite over the Bucks.
I favored the Bucks last week, and it was the right play. So I think.
Yeah, I would.
Chiefs have had another week to get comfortable with each other, figure out the offense a little bit. Bucks are still without Godwin and what's his name?
Evans. Yeah, and then without those two stud receivers, that's a tough ask for any quarterback to be down his two best receiving options to go out there and win.
The officials are going to try to help the Chiefs win.
That's right.
Well, they help them cover though.
I've got a free pick on this game.
So you're going to sit it out?
No, we don't sit out on Mondays, Rob.
Free
That's
picks.
only on Thursday.
Free picks. This is a free pick. Free pick. You gave out 2 free picks. I'm gonna give out. I can give out free picks.
I would love a free pick if you have one.
You love a free pick. I think we're gonna go alt lines here on team totals, and I would take. You can take under 17.5 points.
We're gonna take an alt line.
Well, this
alt
one
line.
We're gonna do a regular line.
Rosa, you
could
really
also do an alt line.
lead an alternative lifestyle. I rock with it.
Yeah, you could do this. This is what you do. This is how you gamble.
Okay.
It's called gambling. It's what we do here.
We don't
under 17.5 points team total for the Buccaneers.
Kink shame on Mondays.
It's minus 115. We don't kink shame. Minus 115, under 17.5 points for the Buccaneers. You can do that one. Or we can go alt total. Alt team total unders. And I kind of like under 14.5 plus 160.
All right.
I mean, if you want to get really crazy here, we can go under 10.5 points for the Bucks, plus 310. I don't know how they score, unless Kansas City just doesn't care.
As bad
without Godwin and Evans.
And that offense is bad from a Chiefs offense standpoint, and it's kind of bad from just a football in general standpoint as well. As bad as that offense has been for the Chiefs, that defense has been the opposite. That Chiefs defense is legit.
I think maybe the
that
Bucks
defense
get
can carry.
Maybe they get like a pick six or something. Because Mahomes will probably.
That's my free pick over half interception. Yeah, Mahomes is going to.
I'll give you a free pick tonight.
Chiefs have been a covering machine. They're 10-2-1 against the spread their last 13. Although head-to-head, Tampa has covered 4 of the last 5 against Kansas City, so that could come into play. But the Chiefs have just been covering, and especially at home and playing on Monday night. I love the Chiefs in this one tonight.
I think so too.
I'd probably lay the points too.
Lay the points with the Chiefs.
But I don't know if I just, man.
What's over under 45.5?
Trusting their offense.
45.5, yes.
Ooh, yeah, I might stay away from that.
I'm taking the Memphis Tigers minus 4.5 against Missouri tonight.
Oh, men's college basketball starts up.
Starts up tonight.
Let's go.
Season starts. Let's go.
Missouri 0-18 in SEC play last year.
We got to find our new Drake. Wasn't that who it was 2 years ago? Yeah, the team that just started out covering every game.
Yeah.
Got to find a new Drake.
Yeah, and how about a little Nashville Predators tonight against the Kings?
Ooh.
Preds are minus 140, but if you do a 3-way bet, 60-minute bet, you'll get plus 110. So take the Kings take the Predators on the 3-way bet, plus 110 tonight against Los Angeles. And I'm going Cade Otton, 50-plus receiving yards tonight as well.
All right.
The Predators, last in their division, Rob? Last in their division. This is a team who had, I don't know, the 6th, 7th best odds to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
They did. Let's see.
Yeah, they are. They're 4-6-1.
Yeah. Points. 11.
How
many points?
And the Kings are 6-3-3, but have no fear.
Red Wings are also off to a dreadful start.
Again.
We do have a little bit of NFL flex news. News. Week 11 Sunday Night Football was scheduled to be the Colts and the Jets.
Oh, thank gosh.
They have flexed this out. We will be getting Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals against Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah.
Now Sunday Night Football.
Better
little
than
better.
It's better than the Jets. Not much.
It's better than the Colts and the Jets.
Yeah.
Get real.
They
Holy
They can't
crap.
put Joe Flacco on there.
Bro, we need to get the Jets off national television. That strikes me as like the Colts had 2 Sunday night games scheduled?
Well, they thought
the NFL schedule makers, they thought
Anthony Richardson was going to be fun. He's supposed to be
blow
like,
my mind. Like, they're really testing this.
Yeah.
It's an NFL game. We'll just put it on and anybody will watch it by putting the freaking Colts on.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do a watch party for the Simpsons game?
When is it?
December 9th.
No.
Okay.
It's always a what game? The Simpsons game? What is this?
It's like last year they did the Toy Story game with the Falcons. Remember? Like,
the Munich. They did that for like Munich or one of the London games.
There's a Simpsons one.
Homer versus Bart.
Respect.
See if it works. All right. That's today's Odds Couple. That was the small show. The big show is coming to you Thursday. Fish will be back here in studio. CJ won't be here, but the rest of us will be here. And we'll be live Thursday at 2 o'clock here on Grind City Media. Enjoy your night. Enjoy the games. Tap in. Tune on. Go vote tomorrow. And we'll see you on Thursday. I'm Lang. He's John. He's CJ. He's Rob. We'll see you on Thursday here on The Odds Couple on Grind City Media.